There comes a quiet moment in life, often after the age of 70, when the world begins to feel different. Not louder, not faster, just a narrower. Conversations feel shorter. Energy feels more precious. The future seems closer than the past ever was. And without realizing it, many people begin to shrink themselves to fit this new phase of life. They speak less, not because they have nothing to say, but because they assume no one wants to hear it. They accept situations that exhaust them because it feels easier than explaining their limits. They tell themselves, "This is just how life is now." But this quiet shrinking is not wisdom. It is not maturity. And it is not inevitable. It is something else entirely. The slow surrender of inner authority. Aging does not steal your power. What steals it is the belief that your time, voice, and comfort no longer matter. And that belief, if left unchallenged, can turn even long years into something smaller than they need to be. Stoic philosophy, especially the teachings of Epictetus, offers a powerful counter to this idea, not through motivational slogans or empty positivity, but through clarity, through discipline, through the understanding that freedom has nothing to do with age, and everything to do with where you place your control. There are 3 quiet mistakes people make after 70 that slowly drain their peace. They are rarely talked about, yet correcting them can completely change how life feels from this point forward. The first mistake: going where your spirit feels small. At some point in life, many people stop choosing where they spend their energy and start going wherever habit, obligation, or expectation pulls them. They attend gatherings they no longer enjoy. They tolerate conversations that leave them drained. They remain in spaces where they feel unseen or diminished, not because they want to, but because they believe they should. This is where the erosion begins. Stoicism teaches that your environment shapes your inner state. You may not control the world, but you absolutely control where you place yourself within it. And when you repeatedly place yourself in spaces that exhaust you, something inside begins to shut down. This is not about avoiding discomfort. Growth often involves discomfort. This is about recognizing the difference between growth and erosion. Growth challenges you but leaves you stronger. Erosion weakens you quietly, slowly, until you forget what strength feels like. Many older people confuse the two. They tell themselves they are being tolerant, patient, or polite, when in reality they are abandoning their own well-being. The Stoics believed that inner peace is protected through boundaries, not aggression. You do not need to announce your withdrawal. You do not need to justify it. You simply choose not to go where your spirit shrinks. There is great freedom in realizing that not every invitation deserves your presence. Not every tradition deserves your loyalty. And not every relationship deserves your energy. When you begin choosing environments that nourish rather than drain you, something extraordinary happens. Your mind becomes clearer. Your body relaxes. You begin to feel like yourself again. That feeling is not selfishness. It is alignment. The second mistake: using your body as a tool instead of a home. As people grow older, many continue treating their bodies as machines meant to perform on demand. They push through pain. They ignore fatigue. They minimize discomfort because they do not want to seem weak or demanding. But the body keeps score. Stoic philosophy teaches respect for what is within your control, and your body is not something to dominate. It is something to steward. When you push your body beyond its limits to please others, you are quietly teaching yourself that your comfort does not matter. Over time, this erodes not just physical health, but self-respect. There is a subtle dignity in listening to your body, in sitting when you need to sit, in saying no without apology, in resting without guilt. This does not mean becoming fragile or fearful. It means becoming wise. Your body is not an obstacle to overcome. It is the vessel through which all experience passes. When you honor it, life becomes steadier. Pain lessens. Energy returns. You begin to move through the world with intention rather than resistance. True strength at this stage of life is not endurance. It is discernment. The courage to say, "This is enough for today." The third mistake: letting meaning slip away. Perhaps the most dangerous loss in later life is not physical ability, but purpose. Many people unknowingly surrender meaning by repeating phrases like, "I'm too old for that. It doesn't matter anymore. That part of life is over." These phrases feel harmless, even realistic, but they carry tremendous power. Words shape belief. Belief shapes behavior. And behavior shapes the quality of life. Stoic thinkers understood that meaning is not found in achievement or recognition. It is created through intention, through how you interpret your experiences, through the meaning you assign to your actions. When someone stops believing their life has purpose, everything else begins to fade. Energy declines. Curiosity fades. Days blend together. But meaning does not come from productivity or applause. It comes from authorship, from knowing that you are still the one writing your story. You do not need grand goals. You need chosen ones. A daily walk taken with awareness. A small routine done with care. A quiet moment of learning or reflection. These are not distractions. They are anchors. Meaning does not announce itself loudly. It whispers through consistency, presence, and intention. The quiet power of inner authority. The final truth is this: freedom in later life is not about independence from others. It is about independence from inner noise. When you stop living according to expectations you never agreed to, something remarkable happens. You begin to move with calm certainty. Your choices feel lighter. Your days feel intentional. You stop asking for permission to be yourself. This is not rebellion. It is alignment. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are responding from within. And that is the deepest form of freedom. Not the freedom to do everything, but the freedom to choose what matters. Not the absence of limits, but the wisdom to live well within them. Aging, when understood this way, is not a decline. It is a refinement. A stripping away of noise until only what matters remains. So ask yourself, gently, honestly, where have I been giving my life away without realizing it? And what would it look like to take it back, quietly, one choice at a time? That question alone is enough to begin again. And perhaps that is the real gift of growing older. Not the loss of youth, but the arrival of clarity.